So, unfortunately, we actually did not have our offer accepted.
Oh well.
And actually, here's a few reasons why it was good. Is because that number one, it actually had unpermitted work. They made a 1-bedroom into a 2-bedroom illegally. I mean, technically it was still to code. It was like legally a bedroom, but they just did it without a permit. And if we got caught by inspections or government, we would have had to pay like penalties and a fine, and then maybe even have to gut the whole thing and redo it. And the other thing was that we actually had another buyer that was against us. We had a bidding war. They went close to our max, and they still ended up going for the buyer because we had gift money from our parents, and they had actual money. They had actual money in their bank account. So they were thinking that, like, due to all of COVID-19 going on, that it was more guaranteed to have actual money in the bank than it is in my mom's bank. So that was one thing. The other thing was that with COVID-19, they weren't entirely sure if we can even get a loan, and like financing is usually an issue, even more so now. So what they were thinking of was like, okay, well, first off, there was actually something where they asked about like, if this bank fell through, in which case we were going with Citizens Bank, then could you go for another bank? And that was easy for us because we already had 4 to 5 other pre-approval letters from other lenders that we actually would want to go move forward with. What was the other thing?
Because of the assessment thing.
Oh yeah. So apparently this building actually used to be a Roman Catholic school, so not everything was to code, at least like right now. So for example, the rooftop, they now restrict access because it's illegal in terms of the height between the walls and the floor. So people can actually walk over and then tip over. So they needed to have a fence, and that's actually, when it comes to condos and co-ops, they have assessment fees, which is basically anything for the building or even the lot around it that would actually require any repairs or kind of renovations, capital projects. They would have an assessment fee, which is essentially the whole amount split between all the owners. So that would have actually been, and plus like a few other things that they had to do, like probably an additional $1,000 a month, which honestly, if we went to our max budget, which is what our final offer was of $900,000, even though the interest rates are good nowadays, it's still not ideal with that. And there was no tax abatement. It was still like pretty decent taxes. And also it was pretty far away from the subway station. I saw it was like 14-minute walk to the closest. And that's actually like a downside of Cobble Hill, is that the subway is the furthest away from it. It's literally at the edge of Cobble Hill, and we were at the edge of the other side, so like where the water was. It literally checked off all the boxes where there's 2 bedrooms, big living room, renovation done already, so like you see like the nice finishes of the bathroom and the kitchen. There's also a loft, which is something that I always liked, and I know lofts are always difficult to live in, but having it as a reading nook or storage, or even as a future YouTube studio, would be really cool. And the high ceilings were nice, a lot of natural sunlight. Also the other downside was that I was actually right by the BQE, the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, which is a very loud highway. And sometimes what the agent actually said was that if there's a big truck that goes on it, sometimes the building shakes. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay. But honestly, it looks really cool because it used to be a school, so the interior was really, it had a lot of character. Like you literally looked like you were walking in the hallways of school, but it was a really nice school too. And in the front door, there actually was a plaque of all the founders. So I thought that was a really cool addition.
It was there already.
Well, I think it was cool to add in, okay, because most people who convert it into livable space, you can actually take it away, but they kept it. So moving forward, we actually are going to move in with our original first choice. Actually, this Cobble Hill location popped up last minute on Saturday while we had our last showings on Sunday. So we just literally slotted in as the last time of that day. And we actually were at first really convinced about this Park Slope one to begin with. So that's what we're going to be trying to put in an offer for. It's definitely a renovation project. So it's going to be the typical Park Slope brownstone, so it's going to be a walk up. Luckily, we're going to be going for the 2nd floor, so not much to walk up to, and it's going to be a pretty old building. So with the old building, You're gonna have the like floors a little bit uneven, and like some of the appliances are gonna be old. We might have to replace it. The counter's a little bit old, but we found it at a really good price, and it was literally 1 block away from one of the school districts, one of the top school districts in the country, that literally got featured in a TV show. So it's like, you know what, it's a win-win, and Park Slope is very ideal for families. And I know we're kind of like far from that, but at least it's good to do all these renovations and also live there, because there's Park Slope, there's Prospect Park, there's so many cool, cute restaurants, and still technically we can actually take the bike and go to Sunset Market. And if you guys don't know, Sunset Market is actually a very Asian, Japanese market with a lot of Asian restaurants, and well, it's actually more like a Japanese food court. But I thought that was really cool, and Park Slope is also going to be really good in terms of appreciation and growth. So if we were to resell it, and especially with the renovations and capital projects we're going for, it would be a lot better. Not to mention, because it's in a smaller building and really not much going on, no amenities really, we can actually have a lot cheaper common charge. And common charge in condo speak is essentially like the charges of the building to upkeep. Like for example, cleaning up the common space, maybe like trimming the gas, garbage disposal, all those kind of things is a lot cheaper because there's fewer amenities. And also typically bigger the building, higher the common charges, because you're covering more square footage and stuff to do.
More better.
Yeah. So there's still a really nice bike lane in Prospect Park, which apparently no cars are allowed in, so that's even better than Central Park.
No elevators.
And no homeless people. I mean, there's no elevator, but at least we are on the 2nd floor. We can walk that up. So, I mean, it will be at least our only workout of...
Her only workout.
Hey, it will be our only workout when we try to go up and down. And yeah, we're gonna be doing renovations. Most likely we'll have to do hardwood floors, so at least it would be nice.
Yeah.
Change the fixture so it's more modern, more light as well. Next time we will get you up with an update on the actual condo, see if we get it. And by the time that this video is uploaded, we should have a contract signing. It may not be this condo, who knows, maybe it will be, and then we may go for a different one. But by the time you see this, we will have a contract signed from somewhere. So we're gonna have to delay this video as much as possible, so that way you don't go and grab it.
Imagine. Because
no!
we
We will never let that happen.